Okay, we're starting a new unit today. We're starting the unit on data, and the first thing we talk about in data is frequency tables. Let's go and look at our lesson objective for the day. Our lesson objective for the day is 3.8a, and that's summarize a data set within multiple categories using a frequency table. And what we want to be able to do is I can summarize a data set using a frequency table. Let's go ahead and look at this video about frequency tables.
How can you collect and organize data? Think about this question during the lesson. A survey asked students, "What is your favorite after-school sport?" Look at the data. How many different sports did students name? They named 3 different sports. The sports are soccer, swimming, and softball. Information you collect is called data. To take a survey, collect data by asking many people the same question. How can you record the data? You can use tallies to help record data. For soccer, make a tally mark for each time you see soccer in the data. How can you show the data of all the sports? You can make a tally chart by recording tally marks for each sport. Now, label the columns. What do you write in the left column of the tally chart? Write all of the different survey answers in the left column. Make a tally mark for each answer given in the survey. You can make a frequency table by adding a column that shows the number of times each answer is given. Where did the frequency table title come from? It is the survey data title. How can you count the tally marks that were gathered from the survey data? You can skip count by 5s to count tallies. Count the tally marks. Record the number. What does each tally mark represent? Each tally mark, including the one that slants across 4 others, represents 1 student. Look at the completed frequency table. What information does the frequency table show about favorite sports? Most students chose softball. The least favorite sport was swimming. You can practice counting tally marks by arranging objects like toothpicks or plastic stirrers to match the picture of the tally marks.
Okay, let's go and look at some of the vocabulary for data. And first thing is a bar graph. And you should be familiar with that. Bar graphs are the same things y'all worked with last year in 2nd grade. It's just a graphic representation to organize data that uses a solid bars that do not touch each other and a scaled axis to show the frequency, number of times that each category occurs. Next thing, data. We worked with data last year also, and that's information that is collected about people, events, or objects. And you see dot plot there. I highlighted dot plot because that's going to be something new that we do this year. And it's a graphic representation to organize small sets of data that uses dots or X's and an axis to show the frequency, number of times that each category occurs. So it looks very similar, or works very similar to a bar graph. Usually we use it with smaller amounts of information than we do bar graphs sometimes, but it works just the same. A graph is a visual representation of the relationship between data collected. Frequency table, and that's what we're going to talk about today, is a table to organize data that lists categories and their frequency, number of times that each category occurs. and a pictograph. You worked with these last year also. Pictograph is a graphic representation to organize data that uses a picture or symbols where each picture or symbol may represent one or more than one unit of data to show the frequency, number of times that each category occurs. Okay, let's go ahead and look at this frequency table here. Get over here where we can get a little bit of room to work on it. And it's a survey that I took from my students. I have 43 students, and they're choosing. I asked them, I sent a message to them, asked them what their favorite type of pizza was, and these are their responses. So, every time someone sent me a message, I went to my tally chart, and I went and put a tally by the type of pizza they chose. So on the first one for cheese, there's 3 people chose cheese. For pepperoni, there are 6 people chose pepperoni. For sausage, I had 9 people choose sausage. And for other, I had 5 people choose something other than cheese, pepperoni, or sausage. I had a few, just kind of different responses. There's one of each. Like I remember one of these, someone chose ham because they like the Hawaiian style pizza. But that's the responses that I got. We're going to answer these questions right here, and it says which choice had the most votes. So the choice that had the most votes was sausage. So we'll put sausage there. Sausage. And which choice had the least votes? And cheese had the least votes. So we're at cheese right here in this blank. Okay, so each one of these, like I said, each time a student responded, I put a tally mark here. So let's go ahead and figure out how many students actually responded to my survey. So way tally marks work, we put them in groups of 5, so we can count the 5s first. We can skip count by 5s, and then come back and get the singles. So that's 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I had 23 students respond to the survey. So I'm going to write that number over here real quick. So 23. Had 23 students respond to my survey. How many students did not respond to my survey? Go ahead and tell me how I would answer that question. Yep, that's right. We would go ahead, I would subtract the amount of students, the total amount of students. And if you remember, I had 43 students. So I'd subtract 23 from the total. And pretty easy subtraction problem right there. The ones place, I have 3 on top, 3 on the bottom. So 3 minus 3 is 0. And 20 from 40 is 20. So I had 20 students not respond to my survey. Let's go ahead and look at some other questions over here. Okay, let's go ahead and look at these questions here. It says, how many more students like sausage than pepperoni? What operation is it asking me to do here? Yeah, I'm going to look right here, box in right this, how many more? That is a key word for subtraction. So I'm looking for sausage and pepperoni. And I'm going to look for the larger one, which is sausage, which was 9. And pepperoni was 6. So my subtraction sentence looks like 9 minus 6. So what is 9 minus 6? Well, let's take a look and see. I like to count up from my smaller number to my larger number. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 minus 6 is 3. Good job. Let's go ahead and look at the next problem. It says, how many more students like cheese and other combined than pepperoni? First, how many steps are involved in this problem? Yep, right. That looks like there are 2 steps in this problem. Okay, so first I'm going to do is I'm going to look and see how many more. That looks like one of my steps. What does how many more tell me? Yep, that's right. We have to subtract in this problem. Okay, I'm going to look at this. I got cheese and other combined, so we're asking about cheese and other combined. Okay, what does combined tell me we need to do? Yep, that's right. We are going to have to add the cheese and other pieces together. And the last thing we're talking about is the pepperoni. So, what is the first step in this problem? Yes, we need to go ahead and add first. We need to add the cheese and other together. So, there are 3 cheese and 5 other. And we already said this is an addition problem. What is 3 plus 5? Yep, 3 plus 5 is 8. What is the next step? Yes, we need to go ahead and subtract 8, or subtract the pepperoni, which is 6, from the combined cheese and other. What is 8 minus 6? Yes, 8 minus 6 is 2. So that means that 2 more people, or 2 more students, like cheese and other combined than pepperoni. Okay, it's time to complete your independent practice. Complete your Schoology assignment. You'll find them right below the link in this video. It is a blue puzzle piece. And if you have any questions about anything, make sure if there's anything that seems like it may not be working, or you don't understand one of the concepts that we talked about in this lesson, please send your teacher an email or send them a message in Schoology, and we'll get back to you really quick. Just do your very best on your independent practice, and best of luck to you. We'll talk to you later.